हाँ. Hello, everyone. A very logical day to all of you. And yes, here we are with a cat out of the bag. The cat? No, the CLAT out of the bag, but a little point only, just partially. We have only one passage on the logical reasoning section, and that passage shows us that it is not a very difficult one. Average length passage, not a very difficult length, two paragraphs only. So, if you have been reading for the last few months various journals, various articles from various newspapers, you will definitely be able to solve this, understand it, and get all six questions correct. Let us see, if not six, at least five should be correct. But then let us see what this passage is about. So, road safety is as much about the design and construction of roads and post crash emergency care as it is about the seat belts. India finds itself topping the world road fatality charts year after year. That means बहुत सारे accidents होते हैं and many casualties too. This is as good a time as any to ask, why are we a failure in road safety? One would think that there is someone who can tell us. One would think, है ना, मतलब हम सोचेंगे, ऐसे कोई भी सोच सकता है कि कोई तो हमें बताएगा कि प्रॉब्लम क्या है. Who can tell us a share of each reason for total accidents, and we would then know the difference between the causes of the accidents on city streets and national highways. We would have also studied the root cause of the problem. Is it an issue of enforcement or an issue of poor land markets that results in the people on the street, or government contracting on building better and safer roads? What is the problem? Where are we going wrong? If governments are planning to spend crores on improving road safety, there should be a strategy based on analysis of post car crashes. However, the analysis that governments engage in, assuming they do, ठीक है, analysis that governments engage, उसके बाद छोटा सा डैश है इधर. ठीक है, मतलब गवर्नमेंट्स अज्यूम करती है कि हाँ वो एनालिसिस करती हैं पोस्ट कार क्रैशेस का. Before making the decisions is not visible to their citizens. That means they might be taking or doing those analysis, conducting that analysis, or no, doesn't go to the citizens. We are also rarely given information on which of the policy interventions worked, if what cost, and how would they scale. And hence, in a nutshell, means as a conclusion, we don't really know why we are a failure in the road safety. हमें पता ही नहीं है. उससे पैराग्राफ भी स्टार्ट ऐसे ही किया कि ऐसे कोई तो होगा जो हमें बता देगा कि what is the reason of these car casualties, and in the rest of the paragraph he is coming up with an elaboration of it, and in the end, he again says that so we do not know only. Now, loss of life and limb is devastating to those who find themselves in such unfortunate events. There are larger economic ramifications too. So, it is not only about the loss of life and limb, but there are economic ramifications too. Victims of the road accidents are often the young, which leads to income shocks in the households and a loss of productive human capital for the economy. Okay, so if the young are getting involved in those car crashes, it is not only affecting the person himself, but it is also affecting the economy. And how? Because it is the loss of productive human capital for the economy. A study by the World Bank shows that if India reduced road traffic mortality and injuries by 50% and sustained it for a number of years, two conditions. One, 50% तक अपने कार क्रैशेस को लिमिट कर दो, मतलब उसे रिड्यूस कर दो, एंड देन सस्टेन इट, मतलब हर साल ऐसे ही होना चाहिए और कई सालों तक होना चाहिए उसी लेवल पे, मतलब अभी जितना है उससे 50% कम. If this is maintained, if this is sustained for a number of years, we would be able to generate an additional flow of income equal to 14% of our GDP. But there are two conditions. एक 50% तक कम हो जाना चाहिए ऐसे mortality crashes में, और दूसरा maintained over several years. Death and disability caused by road accidents are major contributors to poor health outcomes. Increasingly, road safety is being seen as a component of international health policy. Prevention is better than cure, and by focusing on the road safety, we will see a positive impact on health outcomes, which is better than obsessing over health care alone. ठीक है? So it is from the saddest mystery tragedy, slow से तो source भी दे दिया है. So not a very elaborated or exaggerated anything. 2 points or 3 points we get from this paragraph. One, we should know the issue and we should know the root cause also. We do not know. It doesn't pass to the citizens. This was mentioned. Second, loss of limb definitely होता है, loss of life होता है. Economic ramifications bhi hota hai, and the reasoning why, because it is a loss of the human capital. Then what to do, and this is the economic side that he is giving about the car crashes or loss of life in the car crashes, and this is what is the fact or the data for it. And then here he is coming up with the health outcomes and all. So if there's a question on health, we'll come here. If there's a question on road accidents and number and GDP, we'll come here. And if it is about the causes of the accidents, we'll come here again. So 3 points in these two paragraphs. Which of the following is the author most likely to agree with? So government should not spend money on efforts to improve road safety. Possible है उसे तो road safety के root causes पता होने चाहिए. Government should spend money on efforts to improve road safety in any manner possible, without wasting time making plans on how to spend that money effectively. Improving road safety is an impossible task. फिर क्या करेंगे? रोड सेफ्टी इंप्रूव नहीं कर सकते, बिल्कुल नहीं कर सकते, इंडिया में तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं. ऐसा ये बोल रहा है ऑप्शन. And so government should not spend any money trying to do so. Those who have been taking the mock test very carefully, have been seeing the analysis very carefully, they'll get to know that you will be able to eliminate these options very clearly. And come to the right answer. तीन आराम से, should not spend money, should spend money, impossible task, eliminate हो जाते हैं. Any, eliminated. Government should not spend money on efforts to improve road safety unless they have developed a plan based on understanding why car crashes have occurred in the past. उसने कहा था कि root causes हमें समझने चाहिए. That is what he is saying. Right? And this is a place where you would get from the paragraph. You'll get the answer. Second, if the author's statements and the information in the passage are true, which of the following must also be necessarily true? So India does not collect any data on the causes behind, does not collect any data. ऐसा इतना strong word दिया था. अगर ऐसा दिया होगा तो ही हम ये mark कर सकते हैं answer, otherwise no. Data on the causes behind road accidents is very difficult to collect. We do not know what the most effective way of decreasing road fatalities in India might be. And we know the most effective ways of decreasing. Do we know? No. ये आउट हो गया हमारे पास. ये नो भी क्वेश्चन मार्क आ जाता है. ये सही था. Why? Most effective way we do not know. Again here, if someone would tell us, तो बता दो हमें. हमें तो नहीं पता है, रूट कॉज भी नहीं पता है प्रॉब्लम का. ठीक है? Based on the information and arguments in the passage above, if India improves its road safety standards, which of the following is most likely to result? If India improves the standards, which of the following is most likely to result? So we would have to spend less on healthcare, possible. Fatalities कम हो जाएंगी, possible है. We would have to spend more on healthcare. चेक कर लेते हैं हम ये देखकर पैसेज में से भी. There would be no impact on health. No impact तो हम आउट कर देंगे. and there would be a negative impact on health outcomes. ये भी check कर लेते हैं. Negative impact कब होगा? If India improves its road safety standards. ये कैसे हो सकता है? ठीक है, लेस करेंगे क्योंकि एक्सीडेंट्स कम, फेटलिटीज कम, तो हेल्थ केयर पे एक्सपेंडिचर कम. Here we said when we are talking about health, we'll come to this part of the paragraph. That's it. Which of the following, if true, would most weaken the author's argument? So we need to understand what the author's argument is. तो author का argument क्या है? कि हमें रूट कॉजेस पे जाना चाहिए, समझना चाहिए और फिर प्लान्स करने चाहिए सो दैट वी आर एबल टू रिड्यूस द फेटलिटीज कॉज्ड ड्यू टू car accidents. If we have underlined or not underlined, if we had marked or mapped the main idea of the argument of the author also, then it will be easy for us to go through the options and mark them. So poor health outcomes are among the results we need to weaken. तो ये तो है, हेल्थ आउटकम्स तो कम होते हैं, उसने दिया था पैराग्राफ में. इट इज बेटर टू फोकस ऑन प्रिवेंटिंग रोड एक्सीडेंट्स रादर देन obsess over healthcare. Comparison of prevention in the last 2-3 lines he had said, I think so. Prevention is better than cure wala. People involved in road accidents may suffer a loss of life and limb. ये भी होता है. And damage and harm caused by road accidents is restricted to those actually hurt. Those actually hurt का मतलब ये तो गलत हो गया क्योंकि ऑथर ने कहा था कि लाइफ एंड लिम का तो रहता है, द पर्सन हु इज लूजिंग लाइफ और लिम, इट इज फाइन, बट इट इज नॉट ओनली ही दैट सफर्स, इट इज द फैमिली ऑल्सो दैट सफर्स. इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम्स होती है. हियर इट इज household suffer, productive human capital is lost, so it is not the person only that suffers, and therefore D was the answer. Which of the following, if true, would provide the most support for the author's argument that one would think that there is someone who can tell us the share of each reason for total accidents? So road safety is a trivial matter. Road safety is a very important issue. India has many such incidents each year. This will support, क्योंकि हमें पता होना चाहिए, कोई तो बताए हमें कि एक्चुअल रीजन क्या है, क्यों? Because it is a very important issue and it has many such incidents each year. India does not have many incidents, ये तो नहीं आएगा. And there is no one who can conduct such an analysis. No one means a very strong term. कोई नहीं कर सकता analysis. So you have your answer B. Here it is. If, as the World Bank study the author mentions shows, reducing road traffic mortality and injuries could lead to an additional income equal to 14% of our GDP in 2014. Which of the following is the most likely explanation for why the government has not made more stringent efforts to reduce such road traffic mortality and injuries? तो गवर्नमेंट ने ऐसा इतना एफर्ट किया क्यों नहीं है? अगर ये बात सही होती है तो achieving that 14% increase in income would require a trivial reduction in such incidents, not a trivial one. उसे कहा था 50% reduction है तो A out है. Any government would like to do whatever it can to ensure there's an increase in income. But it was only talking about income and it is not talking only about GDP. It was GDP related increase which was with the reduction of the road traffic mortality and that too by 50% जो कि paragraph में दिया है. Right? So we have a very clear answer that is in C. You can go back to the passage and see it, otherwise easily अगर वो याद रहता तुम्हें तो हम पैसेज पे जा सकते थे और दिया था उसमें, हमने डिस्कस भी किया है. 14% इंक्रीज तभी होगा जब 50% डिक्रीज होगा मोर्टालिटी रेट में एंड सस्टेन्ड ओवर many years. Only then this is happening, right? It will have to be sustained and therefore very, very difficult to achieve. It is not unachievable, but very difficult to achieve, right? So that's all for today. And thank you. And I think एक और sample passage आएगा अभी अपने को CLAT के पहले. But then, till then, what I would suggest is just read varied topics. Read your articles from the newspapers, whichever newspaper you're following. Kindly improve the number of articles that you're reading. उसमें increase आना चाहिए, and the level of the newspaper that you're reading. So you can go in for multiple other newspapers also. At least start reading the opinion page of various newspapers, be it Guardian or Telegraph or Tribune or Print or whichever. वो एक passage print का भी था, or wire, anything, right? Read, and you'll be able to come up with all this, understanding the author's point, author's mind. That's all, and all the best, and stay logical.